Hello. This is the daily Human Design Energy Report for February 15th, 2023. And so the sun is in gate 30, the gate of passion or the clinging fire. And so we're in the third line, that martyr line. The trial and error really wants to personally experience life, right? And figure out what works, what doesn't for the individual, for the person. And so resignation is the key word. The acceptance of just what is. Awareness and manifestation of the law of regeneration. The laws of karma, reincarnation, and resurrection. The feeling to accept what is. The tendency in very knowledgeable to encourage or avoid despair. The positive or negative feelings which come with the acceptance of what is. And so when we're talking about this passion and these things that are burning desires and what we really want and creating our dreams and manifesting and using this energy, and really how can we hone in and maintain it, sustain it, coming from that solar plexus going down into the root, right? It's all about that timing. It's all about that honing in. And so when we can accept that things work in cycles, right? Yesterday I was talking about learning to just rest and to realize that it's the ebb and the flow, that sometimes we're going to be really on and we're going to be in season, and sometimes it's going to be our season to rest, to rejuvenate. And when we can accept that, when we can realize and look around that everything works in cycles, that all of nature works in that kind of cycle, and if we can accept the things that are happening, the transitions that are happening, and start to look at, okay, I can see this happening. I accept that it's happening. I wonder now where it can bring me, what it's going to teach me, where I can go from here. And so allowing that acceptance to open up some curiosity rather than this feeling of attachment, right? Holding on to the feeling, whether it's positive or negative. And so it's really looking at that attachment and how can we just be. And so we get endurance. We get our card of endurance, which is also coming from the solar plexus going down to the root, and really looking at sustaining and how can we lean into accepting the cycles and utilize those cycles to stabilize and to build some endurance. And when we know that there's a big season, a spike in the business, a whatever it is, how can you lean into those, right? To bring that more endurance, to bring that energy, to bring that fire, and then know that, okay, when it's quiet time, when it's rest time, I'm truly gonna let myself rejuvenate and be and see what is going to create, what I'm going to manifest, what I'm going to, create inside when I allow myself to rest. When you open up the space for other things to come in, it's really beautiful, right? To allow that to be. I feel like that's that air medicine we've been getting. I'm pulling the fairy card right now. And so we've been getting that air medicine. And what does a fire need to keep it going is that air. And so we need either the space to allow that openness to allow those messages to come through, and so we need this rest. We need to allow our body to rest and not be on all the time, so that we are noticing the signs, so that we're aware of our surroundings, so that we're aware of whatever the wind might be blowing and speaking and calling to us. And so we get fire. Instead of the air medicine today, we're going to get the fire dance. The fire dance is all about that kundalini rising. And so having that balance, and maybe since I was talking about the air and using it to stoke the fire, because this is what we have, and I called in that fire card, but really looking at that passion, looking at that with this endurance energy and our fire. And so leaning into it. And when we are passionate, we can endure more. And so sometimes we do want to put a little bit of that feeling in there, right? There needs to be some sort of feeling, but how can we also do it with this place of acceptance and that non-attachment, right? When we can accept it for it is what it is, and where it's like unconditional. It's truly that unconditional love, that unconditional gift, that unconditional presence of accepting whatever it is going to be. And I'm open to it. I'm ready for it. I am prepared. And so having that passion to like, although this is this passionate energy and looking at it in this kind of way, but it really is that sustainability. It's how can we hold on to it? Because if it is something that we're truly passionate about, then we want to keep it around for a little bit longer rather than just obsessing. And then, it's like that song on the radio. You hear it all the time over and over and over, and then you just don't want to hear it anymore. And so how can we bring in some of this balance, and then we don't create that burnout, even though we have this fire energy? And if we are starting to feel a little lag or a little slow, it's like, can we come back? Can we circle back to some of the passionate pieces? Can we look at some of the passion pieces? Can we see, or can we look at honestly what might be holding us back, and maybe burn through some resistance, burn through some of the feelings that might be holding you back from flying and flying and keep enduring, right? And so sometimes we need that fire to kind of look at our truth and see if we need to kind of push forward, if we need to burn a block out of the way, and so we can push forward and we can sustain on and endure and keep going. And so don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Give this video a thumbs up. If you want to collaborate or work or chat, send me an email at Christine@essentialstrong.com. I am sending you all much love.